What up everyone, it's TyranitarTube and welcome to the top 5 Pokemon that might get Galarian Forms. I don't know what I've titled this video, but I wanted to do a video like this. Let's make it short and concise. I don't know what I did with the thumbnail, because everyone gotta put like this fancy 3D text and make it so eye-appealing. I'm gonna put the crappiest thing in the thumbnail. I just want to open up the discussion board, okay? We were all pretty much nervous for Pokemon to make the right move. You know, they got rid of Mega Evolutions, and the thing after that excited us was Alolan Forms, which is probably Game Freak's most smartest decision, to reintroduce older Pokemon that look different out there. The coolest thing is that when you're playing competitive, if the opponent is sending out a Muck, you don't know which Muck it is. If the opponent is sending out a Weezing, you don't know which one it is, which is perfect because not all Pokemon should be the same across different regions. So now you actually can't just generalize different Pokemon species. It was such a fun idea. And it looked like they're gonna get rid of it with the Alola. They're not. There's Galarian Forms now, and it's such a big deal. So I wanted to open up the discussion board. I wanted you guys to let me know what Pokemon you think might get Galarian Forms, and I'm gonna start it off. Now, this is a video for Hoenn only Pokemon, because I wanted to start with Hoenn, and if you guys enjoyed, maybe I'll do other regions. But Hoenn is the main one I wanted to talk about, because we got the first Hoenn regional variant. Every single Alolan form was a Kanto counterpart. Zigzagoon is the first Pokemon that now has a Hoennian form and a Galarian form. Maybe they might throw in some Johto Galarians and Sinnoh Galarians, but Hoenn might be the main region they're gonna counterpart in Galar with these forms. I'm interested to see what Pokemon you guys think might get Galarian Forms, but before I get into number 5, pretty much, this is what I had to do, okay? So when I was making this list, essentially, I had to look through the Hoenn Pokedex and look at what Pokemon are gonna be in Galar. Pretty much, if they showed a Pokemon in any of the Sword and Shield trailers, like Ludicolo, that means that is their Galarian form. It's not different. So Ludicolo wouldn't be getting a Galarian form, and that's actually one of the Pokemon that are in the trailers. So I pretty much went through the whole Pokedex and scratched off each of the Pokemon that appeared in trailers. But unfortunately, Cerebi, like, they listed the entire evolution line instead of specifically the Pokemon that appeared in trailers. So I feel like if only Wingull appeared in a trailer, they listed Pelipper in the game as well, even though there might be a Galarian Pelipper. So those Pokemon are scratched off the list. And just to throw the oddballs out there before we go into number 5, Flygon was shown in a Galar trailer. Milotic was shown in a Galar trailer. Can you imagine Galarian forms of those? Alright, coming in at number 5 is Slackhot. Now this is interesting, okay? Slacking is like the mortal legendary. It has stats that make it stronger than Pokemon like Mew and Zeraora, and its base stats are equal to
Kyogre and Groudon.
It's nerfed, however, by its ability. Sometimes with these regional variants, they want to make Pokemon more usable, or give a proper alternate way to use them. So what would be interesting is if there was Galarian Slackhot in this region. Now, there would still be a slot, so it's not like they would get like freaking speed boost as their ability. Slots are slow, they're lazy. So if there is a Galarian Slackhot, it would have a lazy ability as well. But on an interesting note, if you take a look at Vigoroth, my dude has Vital Spirit. It's like a temporary stage that Slackhot goes through, where he's not a slot. I guess Vigoroth is some kind of monkey instead of being a proper slot. But if Slacking grew up differently in Galar, there could be a chance for Slacking to perfect that Vital Spirit Vigoroth stage and build off that in its final form instead of reverting to its Slackhot ways. Now, unless they actually nerf this monster though, he's gonna have legendary level stats. So chances are it would have to have a negative ability. I try to think of what abilities could nerf Slacking and make it interesting. It could go from an ability that just slowly takes health away every turn, to maybe another version of Slow Start, which cuts your attack and speed in half for 5 turns. Or my most favorite one is an ability that puts Galarian Slacking to sleep whenever it's sent in. Which is a pretty cool idea, because this means that whenever you send Slacking in, you have to go through the process of waking up, which gives the opponent 2 to 3 turns to try and kill you. And what's even cooler about this ability is that, like I said, you won't know which Slacking is being sent out, just like with Ninetales. And so what's interesting about this kind of ability is that it causes people to use Slacking in the polar opposite way. Slacking is like competitively used as a choice banded retaliator with Giga Impact in the back. So if Pokemon dies, you send Slacking in and can probably OHKO whatever Pokemon killed it. But with an ability like this, Slacking would have to be used differently and have a risky moveset that allows it to function while sleeping. Like you would take up 2 slots for Snore and Sleep Talk, and it would be actually a really fun way to alternatively use Slacking. Another little cherry on top could be if when slacking wakes up fluctuates between 2 turns to 3 turns, because you won't be able to predict whether you use snore or sleep talk or go for an actual move predicting slacking to wake up. I think it actually suits a sloth Pokemon really well. Again, if you're thinking why the hell would I want this ability, it's supposed to be negative. Slacking has to have a negative ability. So maybe I'll throw up some stats on screen. I guess a slacking like this would be maybe slower with more bulk added to it. But let's end off with the typing. Now, it's really hard to think of, it's because Pokemon does whatever they want. Weezing has a freaking top hat and crap. They threw a gimmick in there, so sometimes you can't really predict what they're gonna do. But essentially, I was thinking that maybe this Galarian slacking would be a normal dark type, which is insane to have 2 stabs. That's kind of overpowered for him, but at the same time, he's really weak to fighting moves. Maybe it grew up a different way where it's more in the dark, or it's a nocturnal Pokemon or something. But if not normal dark, maybe it can just be a full-on dark type slack hotline, which I think would be pretty cool. Let me know what you think of a Galarian slacking. Alright, coming in at number 4 is Exploud. I think a Megaphone Pokemon is kind of cool, but can you envision a Galarian Whismur would be so freaking cool. Just think about it, dude. A new version of Whismur, then a new version of Loudred and Exploud. That'd be really cool. I'll keep this one short and sweet. For what kind of twist you would give to Exploud, the best I can think of is its typing being a telepathic mix with its vocal powers. So maybe a normal psychic type, or if it's a full-on new form, just a pure psychic type Exploud. Which, if you think about it, because all psychic types are so similar, being just like Alakazam-like Pokemon for the most part, a psychic type version of Exploud would be hella unique in the psychic Pokemon world. See, I did make that short. Coming in at number 3, let's do a runner-up, okay? Magcargo. I really like Magcargo, and maybe I'll save talking about him for another video, but I think he could be redeemed with the Galarian form. That's all I'm gonna say. He's a runner-up. I think a Galarian Slugma and Magcargo could really do some good for him. He could be like a frozen shell Magcargo, which would be so cool. I guess he'd be Ice Rock. But like I said, maybe I'll save him for another video if you guys enjoy this and maybe want me to do another one like this. Coming in at number 3 for real is Cacturne. Hell yes. I loved Cacturne in Sapphire. I literally just loved enjoying finding out how to get different Pokemon and then use them. I saw Sydney have him and I just never knew how to find him, so it was so badass when I finally evolved the Cacnea. His signature move is Needle Arm, which was so satisfying to use. If you guys remember the animation, it felt like such a strong grass move, but grow up and look back and apparently the move is ass. Come on, someone fix Cacturne. UK, please fix him. Cacturne, he's grass dark. So he's a cactus and a scarecrow, right? And so since it's a scarecrow, what better way to redesign Cacturne than a jack-o'-lantern? Literally, a freaking walking jack-o'-lantern. Like, this man would be Jack, walking around the middle of the night with like light coming out of its eyes, maybe its body as well. It would be a freaky thing to see in the middle of the night. It would be like the opposite of what Cacturne does. He's a scarecrow that sits normally. This would be a walking jack-o'-lantern. You can make this fool a grass fire type, or maybe a fire dark type, maybe pure fire. I think Cacturne looks pretty grown up already. He doesn't look like Lanoon that needs to evolve again. Just give him a better typing, stats, and ability, and he is set. Alright, coming in at number 2. I don't think this list is getting better. I think Slacking was my favorite one, but we got 2 more. Whiscash. Okay, Whiscash is a good one I wanted to try. It's fun to think of Galarian forms, but sometimes I can't like figure out what you can do with them. So maybe Whiscash could be like a Pokemon that starts looking extremely ugly in Galar, because it's a catfish Pokemon. Maybe make him look extremely ugly, bulge his face and lips, make him one of those ugly fishes, and then make it a dark type or a water dark type. I feel like he has to be water because he's a fish and he can't be on the land. Maybe its signature ability could be Intimidate. I would be freaking terrified if I saw it. That was a runner-up, but I guess to not always make these partial Galarian forms that just gain another type, let's do number 2 as Crawdaunt. So Crawdaunt is a crayfish that taunts and daunts opponents, rips out their courage. But in Japanese, its name has scissors in it because, you know, the Mr. Crab claws. So imagine this dude as a defensive, slow, and pure steel type Crawdaunt. You could do water steel, but I want to see more complete changes like Alola Ninetales. A steel type Crawdaunt would be badass. It would be a steel shelled crayfish. You dive underwater and try to get one, but its shell is steel. And its scissor claws, well, it could literally be steel claws, like sharp as a L. Alright, there we go. That's like 7 Pokemon in a top 5 list. I think my best one was Slacking. I don't know why I put him as number 5. Alright, number 1, let me give you guys a couple runner-ups. 1, Claydol. I don't know what you're gonna do with them though. Kecleon and Tropius, the books are totally open with these two. You can literally do anything. Anything. You can even do something that won't make as much sense. Like Tropius now being a poison type.
What?
And it's a Tropius that's own bananas are now a hindrance. Since, you know, it's a walking banana tree and Pokemon eat those bananas, maybe it has a natural predator in Galar. And the only way it could survive in Galar is when at some point they altered into having poisonous fruits and only these survived. So now in Galar, Tropius are poisonous. And for world building, it'd be really cool because it would be noted while you're in UK or Galar not to trust Tropius the same way you would in other regions. See, it sounds possible, right? Literally, the world is your oyster with these forms. Alright, 2 more runner-ups for number 1. Zangoose and Seviper. But the problem with this is that they freaking fight each other. So if they're still their main enemies in Galar, they're not gonna be much different. The best way you could do it for it to still make sense is like partial Galar forms. Like literally just upgraded forms. So Zangoose being normal ground, because that's what mongoose do. They traverse and they're on the ground. And then Seviper being extra edgy and being poison dark. Literally, you know, mongoose and snakes. I think a normal ground Zangoose would be really useful in the metagame. And then Seviper with stab on dark moves would be really useful as well. But alright, hopefully that opened up your mind so that you guys can discuss some Galarian forms as well. But our number 1 dude, because I screwed up this list, is... Well, actually, before I say it, I cut a lot of these Pokemon out. If you're wondering, we ain't gonna get no Plusle or Minun Galarian, or Volbeat or Loomis Galarian. And also, Aggron, Medicham, Manectric, Sharpedo, Camerupt, Altaria, Banette, Absol, Salamence, Metagross, all have Megas. And so that's a different story. They're not gonna introduce a Galarian to then build on it and make Megas for it. Nah. If it has a Mega, it ain't getting a Galarian. So cutting all these Pokemon out, what do you think I'm gonna freaking do for number 1? It's Walrein. It's the Spheal line. Our big boy here, Walrein, and the Spheal line has been missing actually from every single trailer. So he could either be gone from Galar, you know, deleted from the national decks, or he could have a Galarian form, and that's why they haven't shown him. I think seeing an alternative Spheal line would be really cool in Galar. So if you study its name, Walrein is a walrus, a sea lion, and a Pokemon that both reigns as a king and also summons the rain. So let's make this dude some sort of king of the sea that is like the ultimate fish hunting predator, right? So he's evolved to be able to control lightning or something. And it becomes a land walrus that stays away from the water and then causes sharks to go catch its food because fish are weak to electric. So yeah, an electric type Walrein. First of all, that'd be so cool if you found a little baby Spheal and it's a yellow pure electric type Spheal. Like, I would add that to my team. That'd be really fun to use. It could be slower and have maybe more special attack and maybe an ability related to electric or drizzle. Maybe lightning rod, since it's like a lightning master. It's a freaking Zeus. Wow. All right, that is the top 5. Like, that was like 10 Pokemon that might get Galarian forms in Sword and Shield. Oh, and in Hoenn only. I wanted to target the region that they're finally adding some Galarian forms to. Now, I also cut from this list Pokemon that I thought should evolve again in Galar. None of the Pokemon I put on this list, I think, need to evolve, like Obstagoon. I think they all look fully evolved, but there are a couple Pokemon I think can actually evolve in the Galar region. So I don't know, let me know if you want to see a video like that. I can prepare it, but let me know some discussion on what Galarian forms you think could come from Hoenn. And of the Pokemon I listed here, I think my favorite one is Slacking. I really want a different way to use Slacking. It's also Pico. So let me know your own Galarian forms in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoy this. I haven't done a top 5 video like this in a while. Maybe I'll do more if you guys enjoy it. But this is the Hoenn list. So I'm gonna see you guys. Leave a like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I post Sword and Shield stuff there. I'm gonna see you guys. Peace.